Classroom management or meeting the needs can be one of the crucial parts of teaching learning process. However, it is the key component in an educational setting. If students are safe in a learning environment, then teaching learning process can take place. This activity focuses on creating a classroom routine that will make teachers and students more productive. As a pre-service teacher, you should be committed in making a classroom safe and challenging environment, engaging your students through the curriculum as well as getting to know them and interacting with each other. You should develop a democratic and equitable learning environment so that students can learn effectively. This is the presentation of Group 3 in Activity 3 entitled Focusing on Creating My Classroom or Remote Learning Management 10. But first, let me present to you the masterminds behind of this activity.
Pasok na sa Pilipinas ang 2019 novel coronavirus.
When pandemic hits the world, socializing and learning just came to a huge halt. With the phenomenal rise of e-learning and teaching remotely on digital platforms, our lives transformed to follow a new normal. It made us our new way to chat, share files, and work together. We, the future teachers, with burning passion and dedication, will immerse ourselves in a virtual classroom and experience the new learning environment. Chat together, plan together, get together. With our team, there's always a way.
Good day everyone, I'm Jan P. Milagrosa and I'm going to present to you the observation part of our group activity. In this part, we interview Mrs. Wendy A. Martin, Teacher 3 at Central 1 Elementary School. In our interview, we asked her about her best practices regarding classroom design, rules and discipline, scheduling and organization, instructional techniques, and communication. Classroom design. Her answer: in physical classes, I provide a legal framework for my classroom. I merely publish the relevant information on the different walls of my classroom. The phrase honesty is the best policy, the mission and vision, and the department to which they are belong are the most important pieces of information. I also make certain that my students' learning environment is conducive. I always arrange the seating in 4 rows, with 3 chairs in each row, because I want the 3 people to work together to complete their hobbies or jobs. I also create my virtual classroom for online classes. I'm always the one who sets the time. Yes, I'm really picky about the timing. My pupils' cameras must be turned on at all times during virtual lectures so that I can see what they are doing. The online setup should be similar to the design in the classroom. Rules and discipline. Her answer: students must go through orientation at the start of the school year to learn about the rules and regulations in the classroom, which are provided verbally to them. As a result, the students can assist them in adhering to those laws and regulations throughout the school year. I constantly explain my students the repercussions of their conduct when disciplining them. Academically responsible students who complete their schoolwork and activities on schedule obtain the higher grades they deserve. Furthermore, despite their lack of academic achievement, such students exhibit positive attitudes and actions. This may be unjust to some, but it is fair to me. Why? Because, as we often say, excellent values and attitudes are more important. Even the pupils are not academic achievers, they work hard on the assigned assignments. The students who do not complete the assignments on time frequently suffer consequences. As a teacher, I had to learn to be firm as well. Scheduling and organization. Her answer: the administration is usually in charge of arranging the various parts. I always plan the topic schedule, the lesson on the specific subject, and the times when I will discuss it with my wonderful pupils. For example, I schedule the timetable of topics for January in this month of December. Always base your schedule on the school calendar, which is the timetable supplied by the school. If I schedule one section's lesson, it would also be the timetable for the other parts I'm teaching in terms of assigned work. There will be the times when their schedule will not be balanced due to an unanticipated situation. but as a teacher, you must prepare your pupils for this. In terms of organization, I believe that groupings for collaborating their activities are included whenever I give a group task. When it comes to organization, I feel that exceptional students are not always the ones that take initiative in completing the chores. It is not my premise since not all excellent students are responsible. As a teacher, I am always on the lookout for pupils that are responsible. Instructional techniques. Her answer: because of our current scenario, I made certain changes to my educational approaches. In face-to-face classes, I employed the gamification method to encourage fun engagement while learning. Now that we are doing distance learning, I include a lot of tasks in our regular discussion, but I always make sure that the students use those activities in real-world situations. I continuously use the Socratic method and higher-order thinking skills to encourage students to freely express their experiences or opinions. Make sure that you are aligned on the areas that you are managing in order to demonstrate their talents and capabilities. The last part of our interview is the communication. Her answer: engagement in a virtual classroom can be done in the same way that it's done in traditional classroom, but with the use of digital tools such as cloud-based online meeting like Google Classroom, Zoom, and so on. During our online lesson, I connect with my students. This is critical since primary pupils are naturally gregarious. They enjoy chit-chatting with friends and classmates before the sessions begins, and they enjoy greeting us and asking odd questions. Because they have a fun mentality, I like communicating with them. They're also ready to recite throughout the discussion. Following our lesson, we contact through Messenger to follow up on a certain given activities.
I am Aldrin J. M. Quirante to deliver our answers for analysis. The first question is, what are the set of ideals, values, beliefs, and goals on classroom or remote learning management plan? In the classroom or in the remote learning management plan, there are fundamental pillars or a collection of ideas, values, beliefs, and goals as previously stated. To begin with, in order for our students to behave well, they must understand what is expected of them. Communicate the behavioral rules to the students clearly at the start of the term and refer to them throughout the school year. Make a list of rules and expectations as well as the incentives and penalties. Second, always have a backup plan. When incorporating technology into our lesson plan, make sure to conduct a test run prior to the real class. By having a backup plan in place, the gap in learning will be kept to a minimum and the students will not be distracted. Third, by implementing a carefully constructed seating plan, we can construct a learning environment whereby students' learning needs are catered for. They are encouraged to behave well and they can achieve their very best. Lastly, acknowledge and applaud the students who are displaying positive behaviors as opposed to reprimanding students' negative actions. We are clearly communicating to students that only positive action warrants teacher attention. This will then encourage all students to behave well if they want to be recognized by their teachers. The second question is, what set of criteria and or standards will you set to judge the quality of the classroom or remote learning environment? Understanding and implementing standards is the first step in designing for online or remote learning. These standards should guide all of our work as educators, whether we are designing, developing, and guiding remote or online learning activities. Our standards are: A. Knowing the online infrastructure. B. Use of online tools to know, support, and empower students. C. Design online assessments that lead to high-quality student work. D. Design online learning experiences that students can navigate on their own. And E. Facilitate online learning experiences to support student engagement. These standards emphasize an important aspect of online learning environments. Fast-paced content coverage with students playing a mostly passive role just does not work online. Deep practice of key principles backed up by a supportive, trusting group works considerably better.
So now, how will you design your classroom to create and appropriate an effective learning environment? We all know that due to the historical COVID-19 pandemic, most educational institutions and training organizations are now employing online classes. Institutions have thrown technology at instructors, such as Zoom, Google Classroom, and MS Teams to help them acclimatize. In line with this, if we were to design our classroom for effective learning environment, educators must develop new skills and beliefs in order to teach in an online setting that promotes learning. In the online environment, designing lectures that are 18 minutes long can be challenging when there's so much content. One must balance the need to cover content with how much students will remember. Break the lecture into small segments of 18 minutes or less and design some activities in between to make them more meaningful and emotionally engaging for every student. The second one is to apply learning modalities in delivery of content. Every person favors particular learning styles. These pertain to the method by which new information is received and remembered when it comes to learning or communication modalities. Some people who retain information better and show increased understanding when it is visually received are more visual learners, while others are more kinesthetics, and a few are auditory. In the online learning environment, adapting content delivery towards the various learning modalities of the individuals in the class or group results in the information being memorable. The last one is using engaging questions enhances learnings and accesses a sense of authentic care. By authentic care, we mean that when asking questions to engage students, open-ended questions that connect to the students' interests and goals are powerful. In an online environment, this can be done by using discussion forums where each individual student gets to participate. Thus, let's apply these few methodologies to make learning effective and meaningful. At the end of the day, we all want to walk away from our educator role, knowing that students continue to learn and we, as educators, continue to be the hope that lights their future.
Good day everyone, I'm Jan Kennedy Makashob and I'm here to answer the reflection. For reflection question number 1, what classroom rules and procedures will you formulate to ensure discipline and order in your class? How will you ensure safety and security of your students? So, creating school environments where everyone feels safe, supported, and respected is essential in the teaching and learning process and growth of the students. Here are the simple rules and procedures to develop discipline among students, safe and respectful classroom environments. First is let all your students know that you respect and care about them. Second, set up a classroom culture of inclusion and respect. Third, use a positive approaches when educating students about acceptable and unacceptable behaviors. Fourth, provide learning opportunities that encourage cooperation, cohesion, and compassion among students. Fifth, provide an opportunity for students to take responsibility for their learning. Sixth, respect everyone. And last, don't hurt others. Applying these few basic rules alone can bring a pleasant and cooperative behavior and help students feel safe and secure.
For the reflection number 2, what strategies will you employ for rewards and consequences? Students are rewarded for achieving a desired outcome. While inappropriate behaviors are ignored, rewards can include cookies, sweets, extra time off, and no homework. Among other things, we can also reinforce positive behavior with a pleasant smile, a nod of approval, or a pat on the back. It should be praised when students have done good, social, or academic work and should not be overdone. All that is necessary is an easy, great job, guys. Students are aware that it is an honest appreciation and they are trying to build their behaviors and activities so that they are honored by a teacher. On the other hand, negative reinforcement strengthens behavior because an unpleasant experience is stopped or removed. If the students do not complete the homework, for instance, we, the teacher, must give minus points. So in the future, the students will complete the homework to avoid facing such consequences. And for the reflection number 3, what techniques are you going to maximize the effectiveness of your classroom management? Unfortunately, according to a 2019 survey, instructors consistently cite a lack of professional development assistance for enhancing classroom management. Despite these unfavorable circumstances, there are simple and efficient classroom management strategies that we may adopt in our own. These techniques have the potential to improve pro-social students' conduct and academic engagement while also generating an ordered learning environment. Below are a few universal classroom management strategies for us. Number 1. Model ideal behavior. Make a habit of demonstrating behavior you want to see. As many studies show that modeling effectively teaches students how to act in different situations. Number 2. Let students help establish guidelines. Encourage all students to help you build classroom expectations and rules, as you will generate more buy-in and just telling them what they are not allowed to do. And for the last one, avoid punishing the class. Address isolated discipline problems individually instead of punishing an entire class, as the latter can hurt your relationship with the students who are on task and thereby jeopardize weak classroom management.
Hi, kamusta? This is Gian Junio. For our evidences, here are some of the screenshots or photos taken at our group meeting, observation, interviews, and individual photo accomplishing our task. We have an interactive discussions during our group collaboration. Everyone shared their opinions and ideas with regards to the activity for us to achieve a better outcome of the output we decide.